events where people have come together, all our alumni and teachers and students alike, and we have dined together, we had food together, we had music together. So it has definitely increased the bonding, so to say. So uh, this is more or less as far as the last 5 6 years is concerned. And going ahead, as I said, we have very big plans as to what uh, very tangible and intangible changes we can bring to the campus, bring to the students' lives, bring to the uh, university's life. So these pictures are some of the ones taken in industry conclave. It was at Hotel Orchid in Pune. That was in October 2016. So we had a HR conclave, and we called some of the top guys, right from Accenture to SROL to uh, mm, uh, companies like Padeco and all. So we covered almost all sectors. The the interesting part of this industry conclave, which we are sharing with Professor Maji and Chris, this is for your kind information also. It's like, in fact, this was the first such conclave that we could arrange in so many years together. I mean, the uh, the institute, or now it's an university. The university is now a 60 years, uh, uh, experienced and old and thriving university. So we thought this is to be the first event, and we will conduct many such events going ahead. Like after this, we had one manufacturing summit in Pune. I think for just one and a half after 1.5 years. That was in February 2018. We had a manufacturing summit at. This was, of course, industry conclave, or rather, it was limited to HR. This was the manufacturing summit at JW Marriott Pune. That was we conducted in February 2018. We called up a lot of industry people, uh, automation industry. We talked on industry 4.0. So there was very, very contemporary and topics which industry and our young students could relate to, and it was a very, very strong networking session as well. So we connected with a lot of companies through this. This is of also manufacturing summit. Okay. So I'll very quickly go through Krish profile. So and I'm so happy to state that I know Krish as a friend for at least 10 years, and he's as far as my knowledge goes, my interaction with Krish is concerned, I always thought he's one of the most brilliant guys I have ever come across in my academics or in my uh, uh, industry career. Chris is basically a technocrat. He has done his engineering and all, and he is now an entrepreneur. I the day I met Chris, I thought he was always an entrepreneur. He has got a long years of experience, 3 decades and more, and he's into fields of engineering, manufacturing, consulting. Standard certifications is one area he's very, very strong at. I can vouch for that. Academics and shipping. I think this is a very limited thing we have written. It should be much more than that. And with such diversity in career, he holds one virtue in common. That is the process reengineering for improving the enterprise top and bottom lines. And he has successfully turned around organizations into profitable ventures with enhanced employee engagement and morale. I can definitely, you know, uh, I know this point firsthand because many times Chris has come to our company, met our team, and the kind of motivation, the kind of knowledge, the kind of approach he has, shared with my team members. It's unmatchable, I can tell you. And he has been a sessions chair, panel moderator, and member on numerous events and conferences like National HR Conference, GRC Summit, Annual KM Conference, Legal KM Conference, etc. And as a consultant, he has developed several solutions for enterprise risk management. He is very strong at that, I can tell you. OD intervention for team effectiveness, behavioral interventions for imbibing autonomous work culture in high-risk organizations like oil and gas industries. He has recently developed a viable solution, which you are sharing with me the other day, on blood transfusion ecosystem, which is, I thought, it's a brilliant initiative he has started, thus aiming to annul the demand-supply gap in blood availability. I think it's a brilliant innovation, and it's a very noble cause. He's he has kick-started. He's passionate about mentoring the younger generation, unleash their potential, and prepare them for a greater impact on the society. This is one actually I love about Krish. Whenever I see him interact with young people, the younger generation, he's very passionate, very methodical, and that was one of the points. He was in the top of my mind when we are looking for someone who can come and impart a lot of knowledge, uh, motivation and attitude to our very young students. I look forward to a brilliant session from Krish, and I hope all of you will enjoy as well. So I give it to Ravi. We should hand over to Krish only now.
Yes, Manoj bhai, we'll hand it over to Krishna.
So Krish, I'm again thanking you so much, and please uh, over to you, and the time is all yours.
Thanks, Manoj. Thanks, Ravi, for coordinating everything so effectively. It's been a wonderful opportunity.
Ji.
And second, let me share. Uh,
Chris, you can switch on your video.
yeah, that's what I'm just getting the settings for the presentation.
I would just request everybody who is not speaking to keep themselves on mute so that we avoid any unwanted noise disturbances.
Correct.
Yeah, can you all see the presentation now?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very good afternoon, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Principal, Deans, eminent faculties, learned academicians, and WASBE alumni, and my dear future. You are a future as you hold the key to your own and collectively our nation's progress, and I dedicate this presentation to you. As we say, the nation stands on the shoulders of the young generation, and you have a big responsibility towards fulfilling your own life dreams and making India proud. And I dedicate this to you all. Everyone wants a stable and secure job, irrespective of their competence and performance levels. Do you all agree with me? When incompetence gains performance, the whole society will be affected at large. What I mean by this, if in the name of any categorization or any shortfall of eligibilities, if the organization keeps on recruiting people that are not so well competent for the job, as a whole, the organization suffers. This will be scores of unhappy customers. There will be a lot of unhappy customers, disgruntled employees, lower returns on investment, and eventually the organization would wind up. So hence, the career development is not a simple area. It talks about many facets. And today, I would like to touch upon one fragment of it, that is the secret of staying wanted in any organization. That means you have the key to your permanent employment or in the whole lifetime. So which can even trigger up and bring rise to the entrepreneur in you. So at some point in time, you may also become successful entrepreneurs. I'm sure that you all have this in mind. Will I get my placement soon? Will I get a good company? Will I get a good pay, good location? Will I get to study more? Will I get into that college, IIM or Harvard or whatsoever it is? Will I become a CEO one day? Will I start my own business? Will I have a villa and a Porsche, a Lamborghini? Will I marry the boy or girl I love? Right? You all have this, I'm sure. But I'm no oracle, but I can give you a definite answer to most of these questions. Your success lies in your own hands. Your success lies in your own hands and the failure in others. I'll explain this later. Before going further, I want you all to understand two simple, important terminologies. One is employment, another is employability. In this transactional world, you all must understand the relationship very well. If you recall the movie Three Idiots, Amir Khan would say, "Kamyabi ke piche mat padho, kabiyat ke piche bhago." How true. It's very, very true in this. An organization hires employees to engage them in their planned arrangements to achieve a desired set of goals. Which means organization has a wider plan. It wants productivity, it wants market share, it wants leadership, it wants to be the best innovator, it wants to have a higher return on investment. This doesn't mean an organization is there to create employment or social responsibility. Employment refers to commercial engagement of a person by a company to fulfill its business needs. It could be full-time employment, part-time employment, contractual employment, job work, or any such variation of this. Whereas employability is the capability of a person to fulfill the criteria of employment and be able to complete the assigned task with little or no further training without any rework, errors, or rejections. Here, people often confuse their degree or certificates as the fulfillment criteria of as an employability equivalent. It's not so. Education may be indicative, but not a determinant. It is the wholesome competency of that person to match with the requirement, which means a set of skill sets that includes knowledge, attitude, behavior, competence, all set skill sets, including analytical, articulative, many set of sets. That's how many companies come up with a battery of tests prior employment. Instead of looking for employment, focus on developing skills that could assure you our employability. When I say this, I mean here, create yourself a niche that you cannot be rejected by any organization. Create a niche that every organization wants you to be part of the team. Create your skill sets and capability in such a manner that you are second to none in your chosen field of subject or context. To start with, I will always suggest be strong in your basics. Whatsoever subject, we talk about mechatronics, civil, aviation, biotechnology, genetics, engineering, any field of your choice or vocation you may be in today. I urge you, make sure you have, for those going for placements, you may have another 2 months to face the interviews. Go back, brush your basics. Be strong in basics. Last year, there was an article, a girl from Hyderabad won a 2 crore package from Google. She was a pack of 1,200 students from the same college. How did she bag that 2 crore job? By luck. She had her basics so flawless, and the building upon the basics, she created a niche so she could show some creativity, innovation, and futuristic projections to the organization, which they found it much valuable and paid her a price of 2 crores. Everyone can do it, provided we focus on our basics and deliverables. I go back again, I would say it's a transactional word. You give, you get. You get what you pay for. So, in terms of employment, it also means how much you become capable to fulfill the position. Let's look at the other side. What companies want? Having dealt with close to 500 plus organizations, right from MSME to transglobal, something every organization has a bottom set, though it is not well documented. They document in terms of that could go as a job description or a skill set, but these are the bottom line or the core, as the oxygen in the blood, which you cannot see, but you can see only blood. So this is the lifeline of any organization. Every organization wants to see their candidates should be strong in fundamentals and basics, commitment and ownership of the task undertaken. Before employment, how can they check the commitment and ownership of any job? They see what are their hobbies, what are the sports you play, have you reached any significant level, state level, district level, national level, or at any competitive level. Recreational sports is not considered at this time of an interview. Here, they're looking for serious. Okay, you may have some martial arts like judo, karate, taekwondo, tai chi, or whatsoever it is. Even in that, are you black belt? If you are black belt, yeah, okay. If you are Dan 1, Dan 2, Dan 3, Dan 4, oh, you want to pursue it. Everyone wants to see whether the candidate has the capability to take it beyond what is the minimum set of achievement targets. And that's what secures them an unshakable position in an organization. Next is focus and result orientation. This can also be called as business-like. I'm in business, like Peter Drucker said, the business of business is to stay in business. I'm in business. As long as I focus on business, I'll be available in business. Else, I'll be pushed out of business. So, the focus and result orientation is so imperative for every student or every employee that with focus, orientation can come through dedication, determination, all this stuff. How that amasses enough energy and helps the employee to deliver par excellence results with utmost efficiency. This in turn eliminates rework and enhances the speed and agility of the organization. Next, no company wants an employee for a fixed job. Everyone wants the employee to grow with the company. Why? When you join as a trainee in any organization, the company spends significant energy and resources in training you to become capable of meeting their requirements and expectations. So with that in place, when people migrate or they move around, the organization suffers a knowledge or competency gap in the system, which has to be compensated by extra energy and work that slows down the organization from its intended growth. So, it expects each and every employee that joins the organization has a vision. Sometimes you might have also seen, and there are a lot of jokes going around it. Where do you see after 5 years from now? Right? What do you see after 3 years from now? Many people joke, I wish I see the same HR in the same company in the next 5 years. But the fact remains, the intent is to see what is your ambition, what's your vision, how much you are determined and dedicated towards achieving your own pursuits and goals. Without an ambition for future, you become just plain working hands. They don't want working hands. They will employ robots and replace you. Rather, they want brains, they want human beings, they want engineers who use the brain to the best ability to solve the problem and also help them achieve their intended goals. Now, the next important thing is the activeness, that is, ability to handle and manage uncertainties and surprises. That means life is not as a straight line as we see. There are variations, deviations, uncertainties, surprises. Some surprises are not good, right? So, with these surprises and uncertainties, are you overrun by these problems and then quit and stop yourself from exploring further options and possibilities? Or you muster your courage and your resources, move ahead and tackle the problem and come up with viable options that enable you and your team to complete the task on hand in time. That's very important, right? That tactical ability helps and makes you a fantastic problem solver and the go-to man for any critical issues. Next, initiative and innovativeness. And when I talk about initiative and innovativeness, first of all, by the definition of engineering, we say, we solve a problem, right? But not to create a problem by providing a solution. If the solution has a problem, it is not well engineered, which you can apply to software, any sort of design engineering, anywhere. It should be defect-free. Develop the design thinking and innovativeness. Try to go through a lot of innovation videos and find out how they make all the innovations so simple and reliable. If you ask me what is the best innovation, I would like to coin in 2 words: simplicity and reliability in solving a problem is innovation. When the solution is so simple that a layman or anyone doesn't have to apply a brain how to use it, then that is called so simple. Second, it has to be reliable. When I say reliable, it works under any and every condition. That's innovation. Next, people want discipline and orderliness. Every employee has to work with a team of other employees within an organization. And also, sometimes they have to work with experts, consultants, and employees of other organizations in getting the goals achieved. Here, we see if a particular person is not so well organized, the entire team suffers. You might have also realized in your own college project work, one of your team member who is not well organized and well committed to that project, you see how because of that project, your entire team suffers. The project suffers as a whole. Here, they see that every employee must have a good amount of discipline and orderliness. When I say orderliness, well organized, systematic, methodical. Now, the next element they see is collaboration and teamwork. When you talk about collaboration and teamwork, you alone cannot achieve a great feat. Remember, no scientist or no engineer or no doctor or no individual for that matter has ever been so successful without direct or indirect contribution from others. The ability of you to draw the available and requisite resources to contribute to your cause and enable you to succeed in the mission is collaboration. And teamwork is again the ability to engage the people in achieving the goals so voluntarily with much motivation, they should feel pride in doing so. That is the power of teamwork. Next, last but not the least, they say learning for self and others. That is, training others as well. That means you, by virtue of working in an organization, over a period of time, you constantly upgrade yourself. When you upgrade yourself, your skill set grows. When your skill set grows, you leave your position and elevate in the hierarchy to the next higher level possible. And someone junior comes and fills your gap. That's the time where you have the responsibility and onus to impart all the knowledge and learnings that you have gone through that stage and minimize the time period for him to go through this learning process and thus reducing the latency in getting ready for business. So another thing is in the term of succession planning. Succession planning is when an organization prepares for the future leaders. If someone wants to become a leader, he should be ready to relinquish his current position. Unless you are ready to relinquish your current position, you cannot be elevated. When you say relinquishing your current position, that means not creating a void or gap by just abruptly leaving or quitting the position. No, but having someone ready to replace you and do the work that you are doing so that you can do a bigger and better jobs. Right? And these are the few very, very critical things that any organization or interviewer looks at. The more of these visible, higher the package goes. Now, I want everyone present here to run a small employability check score. And I don't want any one of you to share this score with anyone. It's like showing a mirror to you about your level of employability so that within the available time, you can learn the set of skills and become more employable. How do we answer these questions? Each and every question is quite simple and straight. You can straight away agree, right? And do not completely agree. Completely agree is A. Anything that you do not completely agree is B. B could also mean you disagree or partially agree or you don't even want to talk about it. That's B. Just score A and B against each question. Please, you can write it down in a piece of paper. Keep it with you. This is for your own self. You don't have to share it to even your friends. Shall we begin? I am disciplined and punctual. That means I work as per a prepared schedule, and in any project or task I participate, I am punctual. Be it going for a meeting, going for a play, or visiting someone on an appointed time. That means I respect time. Second, my fundamentals are clear and strong, which means I know my subject. You can test me. I have the answers. I know how things work and where they can be applied. My fundamentals are clear and strong. I have the ambition to achieve something great, and I work hard to achieve it. I have a goal in my life. I know what I want to become. I have a desire. I have a dream. I am dedicated towards achieving it. I am determined towards achieving it. I am an inspiration to others when it comes to doing a flawless job. Any job I take, be it assigned to me or chosen by me, I do it with such a finesse, it is difficult for anyone to find a mistake in it. People call me a reliable person. If they give a job to me, they forget about the job. They are assured that the job will be well done. I am not overrun by problems and I circumvent them. That means if I meet with a stumbling block, I don't stop. I find ways and means to get around the situation, find out some workaround solutions, and get ahead of the problem. But definitely, I move ahead. I complete all my tasks on time, every time. A job I undertake, I take it with enough commitment. I do it without reminders, without any nudge, or without coaxing. I do it with my own desire and drive, and I complete it flawless within the time, and I do every job equally in the same time. I'm fully responsible for my success. I don't blame others for my failures. When I say I'm fully responsible for my success, I have the key of my future. I hold the key of my future. I take the responsibility of my success. I work hard in making that happen. I continuously learn and improve skills that can help me make a living. It could be curriculum skills on the core competency area of your academics, or co-curriculum areas that can also come handy in creating your employment and help you make a living. It could be anything. but you are continuously learning and improving your skills that can help you make a living. Any skill that cannot help you make a living is only consuming your time, productive, worthy time. Identify those. I am a responsible person and don't waste any resource, including food. The resource includes time, money, material, knowledge. And many more. I am a responsible person and I don't waste any resource. I keep things organized and don't rush in the last minute searching for them. I know what do I do. I know I have a list. I maintain a list. I keep things organized. I keep things in a designated location. So I don't run around searching at the last moment. Some more questions to come. I maintain a list of things to do and important information handy and updated. This does not mean your electronic gadgets. What if the internet fails? What if you do not have access to any of this information? Is there any alternative means wherein all important information are made available? I am good at the sport and I play at a competitive level. Be it chess, carom, table tennis, badminton, tennis, football, hockey, basketball, polo, handball, name a sport. And you are good at it and play a competitive level, not at a recreational level. I share my domestic chores regularly without being asked. That means I am a regular contributor to the family. Like I may bring vegetables, or every day it's my duty to fill the water in the buckets, or once in 15 days I do all the cobweb cleaning, fan cleaning, upholstery vacuuming, etc. I am a definite contributor to my house. Like how my family will miss me if I'm not there for a particular period of time. Not just because they love me, because some work doesn't get done if I'm not there. I do social service. I donate blood. I take part in literacy campaigns. I help the old age people. I participate in NCC, NSS, Scouts, or any such wings. I definitely contribute to the society. I have a good financial discipline and operate within a budget. That means I get a fixed allowance from my family, from my parents, and I may make my living within the means that is provided. I manage my funds. I keep a record of my own expenses, which will help me tomorrow to analyze and improve my spending pattern and financial discipline. I am keen to experiment and learn things, how they work. I am keen to experiment with subjects which I do not know and learn things, how they work. if someone is working on something which I do not know, I stop by, I observe, I ask questions and learn how that works. After that, I know how it works well. I am qualified in new skills outside my domain. That means I have some other skills I learned that are outside my primary domain. Say, for example, I am a computer graduate and I know how to make Italian cuisines at uh, the expertise that a restaurant can hire me. It's a qualified new skill which can have a certificate or so something, right? So it means I'm qualified in new skills outside my domain. I am good at report writing and summaries. When I'm asked to give a summary, I write informative, precise, and decisive summaries that helps the reader to form an informed judgment about. I do not get fumbled when I'm asked to write a report. I'm ready, I'm quick, I can write good summaries and reports. I can present my case to a learned team without help. Which means if there is an expert panel sitting in front of you, asking you some questions about the same project that you have worked on, that you have enough understanding and thorough knowledge of the project that you worked on, and the reference material included, that you have the confidence to present in front of them without battling an eyelid. And you answer all the questions without any external help. I value others' contribution to my being and success. I'm here because of others have contributed to the society that made me part of the system. So I value every contribution and I would like to contribute when my turn comes. Are we good? I hope there are 20 questions. You would have all answered these 20 questions. Now, if I ask anyone who got a score more than 12 A's out of 20, consider you are ready to be employed right now. Anyone who has more than 12 A's out of these 20, I'm talking about only 60%, you are ready to be employed right away. Anyone with more than 16, 17, 18, you will have the liberty to pick and choose the number as your pay package. It won't be determined by the company. Their only goal will be to hire you and have you part of the team. Now, I would like to touch upon a few important things. That is, how to spend the resources wisely. At young age, like you are, so less than 30, less than around 26 or less than 30, you have enough time at your disposal. You have huge amount of time. And you also have lot of energy and enthusiasm to do so. But you don't have money. So what do? You end up utilizing the time and energy to earn money. And that is where you get employed. Now, when it comes to the middle age, like you can see your own parents, they fight for time. They have lesser time to spend with you, and the energy is also sapped. They have money, but not sufficient or extra surplus. Now, they use money and energy to buy time. How is it done? They provide secondary employment, like they hire a cook at home, a maid at home, a driver to drive the car, so that they save that much time and energy and do productive jobs. At old age, you are left with abundance of time for anything and everything, but you have no energy left. You also have good amount of your savings. So all you need is good health at that time. That's what you spend your time and money in earning or regaining your energy, that is health. So this is some truth. It's unmistakable and it is something going to be there for all. For people until 30 years, for employees and anyone I would advise, until 30 years, your focus should be only learning, not making money. Until 30 years, no matter what the pay package is, no matter what the increment pattern is, incentive is. One of your fellow colleague student would have got a 50 lakh package and you may be struggling with 12 lakh package. Don't worry. If this place where you're working gives you abundant learning opportunities, that's the best place. And at this time, these less than 30 years, you guys must save at least 50% of your earnings. It will come very handy tomorrow. From 31 to 40 years, you must focus on putting your knowledge to earn money for you. The knowledge that you learned until you're 30 years of age. If you don't learn enough knowledge at those 10 years, 20 to 30 years, you will not be able to sell it to earn money. So it becomes more imperative that you learn maximum skills until you are 30. So that by 31 or later, you become an expert and you command a price at premium to earn. By this time, you have a family, maybe you invest into some assets, buying a house, car, etc. So, but yet, you must save about 35% of your earnings. From 41 to 50, you should look in for growing vertically up in position, in hierarchy. Slowly inch towards becoming a CEO or an entrepreneur. By 50, you should have achieved the pinnacle of your career. You should reach the CEO or become an entrepreneur and save at least 25% of your earnings. Beyond 50, now it's a time to give it back to the society. Now it's time you train others, you mentor others, you help them achieve their career goals. Help them establish their career goals. Set ambition in them. Give them direction and growth. And you must save 50%. If these monetary savings are not done appropriately at an older age, you will not only have no energy, but you will also not have enough bank balance to live. That's not a good state to be in. Right? Now, people often ask, what are the skills that as an intern or a college student that I should develop? Sometimes people ask, hey, I'm a middle-level manager. What are the skills I should develop to become a manager or a vice president or a CEO of a company? I try to put it in a simpler, understandable manner. Here it goes. There are some essential skills at your level, that is your core technical skills. This includes your education, knowledge, experience, or certifications, internship, all put together. That gives you the know-how, how to start your job and do your job. People skills. It is the ability to interact with others in a team with a purpose and keep them engaged to achieve the objectives. So that is people skills. It is not gossiping or chatting or spending time in humor and anything else. I'm not against any of those things. But when you talk about essential people skills, the ability to tap a resource or an expertise to achieve a definite goal that you have chosen. Coordination, being aware of time sensitivity of the job and timely lies with all stakeholders to contribute to the successful completion of the job. That means you may have people or bodies or departments that are they can also contribute to the effective completion of your job, but it may not fall under their priority. Coordination means tapping them and making them accept your priority as their priority voluntarily and help you complete the job. That is the effectiveness of coordination. Tactical, the ability to find alternate routes, methods, or devices to complete the job in time when stuck. If you face with a roadblock, how you circumvent the situation and achieve the goal is tactical. Innovation, the ability to find simple solutions that solve a problem with ease and reliability. Strategy, the ability to charter the future of the company with much details for execution. When I mean this, here I talk about the business planning perspective, the ability to see the market opportunities and then charter the future course of action. Political, you will be surprised to see this word here. Let me put a definition to you. Being aware of the varied interests of diverse stakeholders and peer group and effectively woo them to your success. Some people may have some particular interests and others may have others. And these interests may not align with your goal. It is your ability to woo them effectively and engage them to contribute towards your success requires the political wisdom. That virtue is called as political understanding. Globalization or thinking big or global or boundaryless thinking, anything you can call it. The ability to create a global consensus on your vision, strategy, and woo other leaders to support and contribute to your cause for success. When I say global, you launch an idea that is embraced and appreciated by other leaders, and they share the pride in associating and contributing with you to make this dream a successful reality. That's global. I give an example. It was Mr. Rajat Gupta, ex-chairman of Goldman Sachs, when he decided to found ISB, Indian School of Business. He met the entrepreneurs and the ministers. Today, we have one of the world-class institutions wherein people from Wharton, Kellogg, and many business schools come and teach. That's global. So these 8 skill sets are the bottom line for anyone to be successful. Initially, one may not have all the 8. Over a period of time, you have to consciously, meticulously work towards in achieving and acquiring these skill sets. Each and every skill set will pave the block of your success. At a junior level, all you need is a very high technical skill, moderate people and coordination skills. Tactical and innovative skills are optional. If you haven't them, it's good and great. And if your technical skills are medium and every other skills are high, you lose the primary position. So, technical skills at your purpose of job, you must be very good at it. Middle level, if you see, their coordination and people skills are also got to be high. Tactical, innovative skills got to be there. Strategic and political awareness is appreciable. At senior level, that person, if you choose to have a lower political skills, that person can choose to become a technocrat. If he acquires more political skills, that person can become a CEO and even higher. At CEO level, the technical skill requirement is less because he has able team with enough competence to manage those jobs. He moves on acquiring strategic and political skills and ventures into globalization so that he can take the company further high up in the market economy. Associations like Chamber of Commerce, technical associations, consortiums, bodies like WHO, UN, CAI, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, any of these things. There you got to have a better globalization outlook. You want to become a global leader, your ability to be innovative, strategic, political, and global viewer is unmistakably higher. This is an easy template for you to compare your skill set and see where you are, how much you fit the line in. Accordingly, you can plan what sort of training programs that you should attend, what sort of mentoring that you should opt for, what sort of grooming that you should go for, and what sort of leaders that you should start working with. Coming back, the secret of staying wanted in any organization. I'm going to give you just few ABCD of a successful career. I am going to only tell you ABCD, nothing more. A, attentiveness, ambition, aptitude, and attitude. Be attentive in anything you do. Absorb. Try to develop like a photographic memory. You've been in a situation, you should be able to come back and narrate the entire event as it happened. That will help you narrate about a project or an event and help the decision makers to make reliable decisions. P, benchmark yourself against the best-in-class performers. How good you are, how better you can be. Be business-like. That means you got to be very well focused and organized. Talk about benevolence, that is, help others. When I say helping others, I mean both at work and outside work. Here, this benevolence behavior will earn you those brownie points that will come handy in your life, which can also support your career. Behavior. Inculcate and develop a pleasant behavior that is appreciable and wanted by everyone to be associated with. Be kind, be helpful. C, competence, communication, collaboration, and character. Competence, you all know, we have seen enough. Communication. Don't wait for someone to ask you about a status. Initiate voluntary communication process. Collaborate. When you foresee something is going to stop or hinder your progress, collaborate with the right resource that can help you salvage the situation, get over it. Build a trustable, worthy character as a human being that will take you higher up. A worthy character wins trust. Trust wins respect, and that brings in business and investments. D, dream, desire, determination, and dedication. These are the 4 pillars of success. If we talk about A, B, C, D, A is for your learning. You got to be attentive, ambitious, have a good, develop your aptitude and have a good attitude. That will help you in learning things that you need. B helps in interaction, that people will compare with you, interact with you, they form a perception and opinion about you. C, without you knowing, people would benchmark you and your performance will be visible through proven indicators. D is for your own growth. You want to grow, you need to have these things in there all the time. These are the 4 things. I said about winners and losers. I said I will talk something later, right? Everyone is a winner in some aspects and loser in few. If you win, you win and where you pay attention. Plan and work for, that means you only win those areas where you dedicate yourself and lose what you neglect. Your success lies in your own hands and failure in others. That I'm going to explain now. You choose your win and losses. When I say your failure in others, that means others are not responsible for your failure. Your inaction gives the opportunity for others to move ahead, and thereby you become and remain a failure. It takes commitment and desire to achieve anything or face any challenge to prove oneself. Without commitment or desire, one can't achieve any goal. For a goal, first of all, you need to have that burning desire and undilutable, indomitable commitment. When he or she works for a definite goal with diligence, success follows path. Let us see a situation where a winner or a loser. Let's talk about a tough task to be accomplished in less than 1/3 the time. The situation, you talk to a group of people, there are two part of people. One would say, oh, it normally used to take 9 days and you want me to do it in 3 days. How can this work take this much time? This is the time that it takes. This is the competency that is required. This is the capability we have. They talk about all facts of the job that cannot be altered. And they show the same reasons as excuses to justify why this job cannot be done. Now let us see how a winner behaves in this situation. He takes this challenge as an opportunity to prove himself. He looks this as an opportunity coming on the way. 9 days, anyone can do it. 3 days, not everyone can have courage to do it. 3 days, it is not a normal thing. It's a feat in itself. It requires lot of enthusiasm and ownership. Commitment and ownership comes. Desire to excel and prove that I am a better person, or prove this can be done, and wants to lead by positive example. If you see the winners and losers, the first half is nothing but a set of facts, undilutable facts or unchangeable facts. These are static, that remain part of the target. What is the variable? The variable is all within you. You are responsible for the success, and you cite all the other external factors for your failure. Whereas you had the opportunity to convert it into success. Right? Now, I come up with few golden rules as the last to complete this talk. Anything you want to do or you have been asked to do, be the best in what you do, even if you didn't choose it, or it may not be up to your liking. If you have to do it, it got to be perfect and flawless. Be disciplined and become respectable. When you become disciplined, you become organized, you become methodical, you become systematic, you gain respect and reliability. Keep learning and upskilling yourself. Never stop learning. Every day, every year, you must add new skills. I would rather say you start with at least 100 hours of training in the first year. Next year, you go down by 5 hours less, 95 hours. Keep on going. In the first 10 years, your average hours of training per year should be anything about 60 plus. Then you see yourself, you will become a global leader someday, for sure. Have a vision about your bright future. Think about a bright future. Remember this vision and plan towards achieving this. Think about a good, bright future and work towards it. Don't count the hours you work. Count your learning, successes, and contributions. It's easy. When you get a job, you work for 9 to 5. It's easy, good. You have money in your pocket. Want to leave office at 5 or 6. Go out and spend money. But what is that you're missing is the opportunity to learn. Spend more hours. There are experts, seniors. Learn from them. Upskill yourself. Do more job. Increase your technical skills so that by 30, you are an unchallenged leader in your domain. Take calculated risk. The famous saying is, boats are safe in harbor, but that's not meant for it. A boat is built to navigate the rough seas, right? Not to be kept in the harbor. So take calculated risk. Develop courage for the right cause. Believe in humanity. Develop courage for the right cause. Be result oriented. If you worry about the bees, you will never get the honey. If you worry about the bees, you will never get the honey. Remember, train and mentor others. If you want to grow up, teach your skills to a junior. So leave your shoes for him. Play an active sport. Keep yourself energetic and fit. That will help you in your older age. Be human. Help others even without being asked. If you see someone stuck, walk up to that person and help. Nothing lost. That person would thank you. That feels you good. That will definitely make you feel good. Listen carefully, make your own decisions, and be responsible for the outcome. Listen to all advices carefully. Make your own decision based on the information. And take the responsibility of the outcome. Because it's going to be your decision. When you make decisions, maybe initially you may make some mistakes. In the beginning years, when you make mistakes, those mistakes will have lesser impact on the organization. You can learn. In the beginning years, when you don't make mistake, at the time when you are responsible to make decisions, wherein you have no experience of making decisions, there you make mistakes that can cost the organization and people are fired. So make decisions, make mistakes. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Learn from them, but never repeat a mistake. And be responsible for the outcome. Stand up. Both agreement and disagreement are equitable. Absolutely fine. If someone disagrees with you or topic, respect that. At the same time, there got to be a rational why. Focus on the subject, not on the person who disagrees. Be ready to be replaced and be ready to move ahead. So when you develop more and more life skills, work skills, employability skills, you are not worried about your job. You can always find a job, a better job. So be ready to be replaced and be ready to move ahead. This will give you a lot of courage to do a right thing in a better way. And I hope you all have enjoyed this. It's now question time.
Thank you, sir. That was a very insightful session, sir. Now we will move on to our question and answer session. I would like to request the attendees to put up their doubts and questions in the chat box.
Very good afternoon.
Ishita, I think whoever has any questions to ask, they can simply unmute themselves and go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, please. I'm all yours now.
Sir, we are having a question. The question is, what does this thought actually mean that was said by Bill Gates? Choose a lazy person to do your job because he can do it in an easy way.
If you remember the words, what I defined innovation as, simplicity and reliability. This this is something like people in the industry have been saying this for more than 30 years. If you want the toughest job to be done by the laziest person, if you want innovation, give the toughest job to the laziest person, he will do in the simplest and easiest possible manner. That means when a job has to be done simpler and reliable, it got to be simple and reliable, don't complicate it. This is another recipe for innovation.
Okay, sir, makes sense. Sir, we are having another question. So, does it mean a lazy person meant here a genius or something else?
Here, the lazy person means a person who doesn't want to work hard. He can work smart.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes, sir, we have another question. It's if discipline is the key to success, but nowadays students lack that the most, what should we do to impart discipline in our lives?
Good question. If this question is from a faculty, I share the same with you. If it is from a student, I appreciate this question. Discipline is something like being in order, the ability to respect a code of conduct. If that has not been inculcated, it would render that person unassociable. That means what? Even in the organization, that person will become a troublesome guy, unreliable person, no matter how much skill set the person has. So to inculcate discipline, the simplest and easiest thing to start with is start keeping a list of to-do lists and set a time. The moment you list down the to-do list and the time for achieving it, let the individuals start ticking it off as and when they get complete. It should be reviewed every day. Slowly and gradually, anything that is not listed in the list should be avoided. Over a period of time, a set of discipline, the way to discipline life automatically be achieved. Because today we are not talking to people of less than 10-year-old where we can tell them or teach them discipline. We are talking to people who are above teens. They are adults. So it cannot be taught in a school form method. Rather, people should adopt some ways of life and some techniques that help them adopt to discipline life.
Thank you, sir. That was very insightful.
Hi, Chris. This is Dr. Nanda. I have a question.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, in fact, I discussed everything starting from employability, that is getting into the job and pursuing there and prospering there and finally reaching to the top.
Yes.
Lot of attributes, parameters you discussed in terms of having a whole set of skills plus attitude. But my question, because it is always a challenge, I never get an answer to this. Is it possible that we have a curriculum and will impart all this objectively? I don't have any idea. I don't think so also. So what is your take on this?
Sir, if you have heard about the Sainik school system, the military school or the Sainik school, they say, that is built on these principles. And today, any student who comes out of the Sainik school system is a true leader wherever he operates and a great contributor to the society. That schooling takes care of all these things.
Implicit learning, you mean to say, or it is explicit?
Both explicit and implicit. It is more explicit there at the school level, and some become implicit. So when these students take up college education, that foundation helps them and sets them apart from the other crowd. They are so disciplined. Example, in a Sainik school, a student board is required to get up at 5 o'clock and do a physical training, PT exercises. And by 6:30, they are back. They do the work and then get back to school at 8 o'clock and complete. In the evening, they are required to play about 2 hours. And in the meanwhile, they are supposed to learn some craft. And they have to wash their own clothes, press, iron, and the shoes got to be shiny. So they have to be disciplined in order and impeccable order. So now what happens, this like a child joins in the 6th standard in a Sainik school, 6 to 12, that is 7 years of that schooling, sets the fundamentals right in the kid. Now, this is available only for a minuscule population. If you talk about the school, immediately the parent teachers association, आपने स्कूल चला रहे हो क्या मिलिट्री चला रहे हो यहाँ पर, right? All these things would come. So the thing is like parentage has a greater responsibility towards discipline. Parenting.
That's true. It's a big challenge for us when the student reaches a university and I mean to say you have to reverse learn and again put him in the right path. It is really a very big challenge.
Very big challenge. Time consuming. Yeah. You don't have 4 years sufficient for it.
Exactly. Thank you, please.
Thank you, sir. Any other question? If you ever see any global leader's lifestyle, be it Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos, Sundar Pichai, or Steve Jobs, anyone, all these people were early risers. They used to get up between 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. Why? Harvard or some university has done a research. You can Google it and then find it out. You'll find it. Some background music. Okay. So, there it talks about if a person has to achieve great height, how much being disciplined and orderliness contribute someone's success. So that much is the emphasis where we could read from the researchers. Any further questions?
So we are having another question. It says how to communicate with you further after this meeting ends.
Wonderful. Mr. Ravi has my contacts. He will share with your forums and I'll be accessible.
Okay.
Right? Mr. Ravi Jaina has my contacts. And Mr. Manoj has my contacts. They will share it through the formal channel so that we can reach me.
Okay, sir. So I think that was all the questions about this talk. So this talk on the topic career development, the secret of staying wanted in any organization by Mr. Krishnamurthi B sir has been very splendid. Thank you, sir, for sharing your pearls of wisdom, which has been very lucidly explained us about the topic. It was indeed a great pleasure to hear you today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for a lovely opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Before moving on further, I would like to announce the names of the winner of the previous quiz conducted by WASBE. I would like to request Krishnamurthi B sir to kindly congratulate the winners.
Ms. Ishita Satpathy, Mr. Rabindranath, Mr. Amartya Mohanty, Mr. Sai Shankar Sahu, Mr. Sabya Sachinanda. Congratulations, great job, and be a winner in everything you choose to. Good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you, sir. Before moving on further, I would like to mention that the link for the quiz of this webinar will be posted on the chat box right now, and you all can log in and participate in this quiz at the end of the webinar, which will extend for a duration of 1 hour. So everyone, please remember to copy the link from the chat box right after the webinar session. This will be active for 1 hour. Thank you.
So with this, we have come to the end of the session. We come to the part of offering gratitude, for which I would request Professor Prasananda sir, Professor in charge of the Training and Placement Cell of BSSUT Burla, to present the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Hi, good afternoon, all. It's a customary duty to offer vote of thanks. But from my bottom of it, thanks, Chris. First of all, I'll tell thank you very much, because it was a complete package, just not about building up the career, but taking the career up to the heights where everybody, to which everybody dreams of. That's really wonderful. It's a complete professional package. It is a great learning opportunity for me, and I'm sure my students have learned a lot from this. It's really wonderful. In fact, it will help me talk to my students in a more effective way. It was very productive for me personally. As usual, Wasbe, you are always a wonderful. Uh, you are really helping us when we need the most. So once again, we thank you very much. Personally, also, I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor. Now he has started encouraging us to a great deal. It is really motivating, and we are looking forward to more of such sessions in future. Thank you, one and all, my students, my faculty friends, all WASBE members, and special thanks to Mr. Chris. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very
all.
much, sir. So, thank you very much, sir. With an eager wait for more such meaningful events from WASBE, here ends today's webinar. I, on the behalf of the whole VSSUT fraternity, again would like to express my heartfelt regards to today's esteemed speaker, Mr. Krishnamurthi sir, for his magnificent insights about the industry. Along with him, our respected VC, Dr. Mansidhar Majhi sir, for taking his time from his busy schedule and joining us today. Mr. Manoj Das sir and Mr. Prasananda sir for their inspiring words. At the end, it seems evidently clear for the change of every mind present over here. I'd like to thank WASBE for providing us this wonderful opportunity to hear and learn a lot of things from these webinars. So once again, a reminder for all the students who want to participate on the quiz, kindly copy the link in the chat box. So thank you everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you, Professor Maji. Thank you, Nanda sir.